What's up everybody? Welcome back to the channel. So today I'm going to be working through the alphabet. So we're going to go from A to Z, and this time I'm going to be using just a Prismacolor pencil. This is just a jet black pencil with a pretty thick soft lead in it, so it works well with calligraphy, I find. You want it to be not too sharp. If it's too sharp, you're just going to break the lead off. So something like this, or it can be even super dull, it's still going to work really well. So that's what we'll be using today. And for our guidelines, I basically just print off these sheets. This is printed at a 1:1:1 ratio. That's basically what I practice at and what I like. So I take this sheet and I slide it underneath my Rhodia pad here, and I basically just trace the angular lines on here, and I just reference the horizontal lines on the pad itself. So this can be a bit tedious and annoying. There's definitely rulers and templates you can use, but this is just a cheap and effective way. It just takes a little bit longer. So I don't use a light table or anything, but here you can kind of see the lines through it. But I basically just grab a red pencil and just kind of mark it out across my paper. And then I just grab my ruler and lay it across and basically just connect the dots. So all these lines are at 55 degrees. So I'm referencing basically what you'd be using in copperplate. So I'm just going to work through all the capitals. So as I'm working through this, I am trying to keep an idea to keep my downstrokes heavier than my upstrokes. With the pencil, you're not going to get that same line variation that you would with pen and ink, but so yeah, there we go. It's pressing too hard, so broke the lead, but it's all good. It's part of the practice. It's also a good indication when you do that is you are pressing too hard, and you just really do need to relax your hand. As when you do write copperplate script, you want to be as light as possible on the paper. So the J always gets me, so I want to come around here. I always find the J awkward, but That's why I do these practices. This is definitely one of the letters I do need to focus on. I do struggle with that one the most. So when you're writing this, you're obviously trying to follow these 55-degree angles on your downstrokes on these letters. And I made a mistake here, so I made this a heavyweight when it should be a lightweight, as you can see on the reference. This is an upstroke, upstroke, downstroke, downstroke, so I put my downstroke is heavy and my upstroke was heavy, so that's a mistake. And then the Z, I always find this letter very awkward. Yeah, I find the Z the most unintuitive letter to draw. So that basically completes A to Z with the pencil. So with that being said, I always like to grab my exemplar sheet, pop that next to my practice, and I grab just a red pencil or a red pen, and then I basically work through each letter and identify what's wrong with it or what needs to be corrected. So as I was doing this, I caught a bunch of errors, obviously. So none of these I'd say are really great, but on the M that should be a thin weight line on the upstroke and heavy coming down. Same with the N. And this is an upstroke, so this should be lighter weight. And then just looking at kind of the overall balance of each letter. The P is a little bit compressed here, so I'd like to sweep out the flourish on the left there. But overall, not a horrible practice with the pencil. I really do recommend using the pencil prior to going to a nib and pen holder, because you're basically eliminating the variables of having to hold your nib right at this 55-degree angle and then focus on pressure. So yeah, next video I'll do one with the pen. I find it a lot easier with the pen. I find with this paper and these smoother graphite pencils, the pencil glides over the paper really easy. There's basically no tooth to this paper, so controlling the letter form can be really difficult. Whereas with a pen, you're basically cutting into the paper, so it's creating a resistance with the nib. So it does help control with these nibs, but yeah, if you want to be practicing, definitely go ahead with the pencil. And yeah, have at her. We'll catch you later.